I've always been fascinated by exploring the darker corners of the internet. Not out of recklessness, just curiosity. One night, while browsing obscure forums, I came across a post about hidden live streams, supposedly showing things no one was meant to see. Someone had dropped a link. No context, no explanation. Just a string of random letters and numbers. Without thinking, I clicked it. A black screen loaded with a single red play button in the center. No title, no description. Just a chat box filled with eerie comments. Some users were hyping up whatever was about to happen, while others joked in ways that made my skin crawl. Against my better judgment, I pressed play. The stream flickered to life, revealing a dimly lit concrete room. In the center, a metal chair. A person sat slumped forward, their head covered with a black sack. My pulse quickened. A door in the background creaked open, and a masked figure stepped inside. He dragged a knife along the wall, the screeching sound cutting through the silence. The chat exploded with excitement. People were placing bets, predicting how long the victim would last. I felt sick. I tried to exit, but my browser was unresponsive. The tab wouldn't close. Every attempt to shut it down failed. Panic set in. I yanked the power cord, plunging my room into darkness. My heart pounded as I sat frozen, struggling to rationalize what I'd just seen. Maybe it was fake. Maybe it was some sick performance. But then, my phone buzzed. A message appeared. "Why did you leave?" My hands trembled. I didn't reply. A minute later, another message. "We see you." My stomach dropped. I wasn't on camera. I wasn't logged in. How could they see me? Before I could process it, my laptop powered back on. By itself. The stream was still running, but something had changed. The masked man had stopped. He wasn't looking at the victim anymore. He was looking directly at the camera. At asterisk me. The chat erupted again. One message stood out. "Look behind you." A chill ran down my spine. I sat perfectly still, straining to hear anything. A breath, a creak, a whisper. Then, 3 slow knocks at my front door. I froze. My apartment was on the 3rd floor. No one should be there. The knocks came again, more deliberate this time. My breathing hitched as I slowly reached for my phone. The moment I unlocked it, my screen flickered. Another message appeared. "Open the door." I nearly dropped the phone. My hands were slick with sweat. Instead of moving, I backed away. My eyes locked on the door. The air in my apartment felt heavier, suffocating. Then I heard it. Something sliding under the door. A small, black envelope. I didn't want to touch it, but my curiosity got the better of me. Kneeling slowly, I picked it up. Inside was a single piece of paper, with just 3 words scrawled in red ink. "You're already in." I felt my stomach turn. A metallic taste filled my mouth. That's when I noticed something on my laptop screen. The masked man. He was smiling, now, as if he knew. Then the stream cut to black. Just as I was about to run out of the apartment, my phone vibrated again. Another message. "Call the cops. It won't help." My fingers trembled as I dialed 911. The operator asked for my location. I barely managed to explain what had happened before the knocking on my door turned into violent pounding. The operator assured me officers were on their way, but I wasn't sure I'd last that long. Then, the pounding stopped. Silence. An unbearable, suffocating silence. Suddenly, my closet door creaked open. My breath caught in my throat. A shadow moved inside, just barely visible in the dim light. My instincts screamed at me to run, but I was frozen in place. Red and blue lights flashed outside my window. Police sirens cut through the night. Someone shouted from outside. Then, a gunshot. I didn't wait to find out what was happening. I bolted for the front door, throwing it open just as 2 officers rushed up the stairs. They pushed past me, weapons drawn. I heard them shouting orders at something inside my apartment. But when they came back out, their faces were pale. There was no one there, one officer muttered. They searched every inch of my apartment. Nothing. No footprints, no forced entry, no sign that anyone else had been inside. Yet, I knew what I had seen. Before leaving, one officer hesitated at the door. He looked at me and said, "Most people who watch these streams don't get a second chance. If you ever get another message, don't answer it." That was months ago. I thought it was over. But last night, my phone buzzed again. A single message. "We're not done with you. Double asterisk." It started as a joke. A friend told me about this shady website selling experimental pills, stuff that wasn't exactly legal. Most were fake, but some had stories. One in particular caught my eye. The blackout drug. The description was vague. 1 pill. 1 week gone. A reset, it claimed. People in forums said they woke up with no memory of what happened, sometimes in different cities, sometimes in different clothes. Some woke up in their own beds, but things were off. I didn't believe it. So I ordered one. It arrived in a plain black envelope. No return address. Just a single red pill in a tiny plastic bag. I hesitated for days, but eventually, curiosity won. I set up my phone to record, sat in front of my mirror, and swallowed the pill with a glass of water. Then, nothing. I woke up to sunlight streaming through the window. My head pounded. My mouth was dry. It took me a few seconds to realize I wasn't in my room. I wasn't even in my apartment. I was in a motel. A filthy, run-down place that smelled like mold and cigarettes. Panic shot through me. My clothes were different. A wrinkled hoodie, jeans that weren't mine, scuffed-up boots. My hands were shaking as I reached for my phone. Battery dead. I scrambled to my feet, searching for my wallet, my keys, anything. My pockets were empty except for one thing, a folded-up piece of paper. I opened it with trembling fingers. 3 words, written in red ink. "Don't go home." My stomach turned. I ran to the bathroom and nearly collapsed when I saw my reflection. A bruise on my jaw, dried blood on my temple, scratches along my neck. What the hell had happened to me? I left the motel in a daze. I didn't even know what city I was in until I saw a street sign. I was 3 states away from home. I borrowed a phone from the front desk and called the only person I could think of, my friend Matt. When he picked up, his voice was tight. "Where the hell have you been?" I couldn't answer. An hour later, he showed up, his car screeching into the parking lot. The second he saw me, his face went pale. He didn't speak for a long time, just kept shaking his head like he couldn't believe I was real. Then finally, he said, "Dude, we thought you were dead." I tried to explain what little I knew, but he cut me off. "Number? You don't get it. You've been gone for a week." I told him about the pill, how I remembered taking it, then waking up here. He was quiet for a long time before finally saying, "There's something you need to see." He pulled out his phone and opened his camera roll. My blood ran cold. The first video was from 3 days ago. It was me, sitting in the back of a car, grinning. My eyes looked wrong, like I wasn't there. I was laughing at something, but the sound sent chills down my spine. It wasn't my laugh. There were more pictures, more videos. Me in different places. Bars, parking lots, standing on a bridge in the middle of the night. One of the pictures was in front of my apartment building. The last video was from the night before. It showed me standing in an alleyway, staring at the camera, not moving. Then, after almost a full minute, I whispered something. Matt turned up the volume. "Don't let me go back." A shiver ran through me. I had no memory of any of it. I told Matt about the note. "Don't go home." He nodded, gripping the steering wheel so tight his knuckles turned white. "Then don't. Stay with me for a few days. Just don't go back yet." I agreed, but curiosity got the better of me. That night, while Matt was asleep, I took his car and drove home. My apartment looked the same from the outside. Nothing strange, nothing out of place. But when I unlocked the door and stepped inside, I felt it immediately. Something was wrong. The air felt heavy, suffocating. My phone charger was still plugged in, my laptop still open on the desk, like I had never left. But then I noticed the mirror. A single word was written in the dust on the glass. Liar. A floorboard creaked behind me. I turned so fast I nearly fell over. But nothing was there. The apartment was empty. Then my phone buzzed. A new message. No number. No name. Just 2 words. Round 2? I ran. That was 6 months ago. I moved across the country. New number. New job. I don't go online much anymore, but sometimes I still wake up in strange places.